Welcome to Man That's Cooking. In this video, we're going to show you how to make slow cooker Guinness corned beef. This is a simple recipe. There's not too many steps when it comes to slow cookers. So the first thing to do is to start with the cabbage. We've got a whole head of cabbage, and you can typically only fit a half head into this cooking pot with all the other ingredients. So we're just going to go with a half head, cut it in half, shave off the stem, and then cut your halves into halves. So now you've got 4 quarters, just like this. Next, we're going to take 1 yellow onion, large onion, and we're going to cut it in half, peel the skin off, and then rainbow slice it, just like this. Now here we have 2 pounds of washed baby red potatoes, and we're going to take the large ones like this and cut them in half, and then cut those halves into thirds. But for smaller ones, we're going to cut them in half and then cut the halves into half. That way we get same size chunks. That promotes even cooking. Next, we're going to sear the corned beef on the stovetop. If you have a slow cooker that can reach high temp, you can sear it within your slow cooker. But if you have a model that doesn't have a high temperature or a searing function, go ahead and set a cast iron skillet or a carbon steel skillet on medium high. And you want to take your corned beef out of the package, wash it off. You want to let it drip dry for at least a half hour, and then take some paper towels to dry the surface off. You want to get that surface really dry. And then what you see here is we've seasoned it using that seasoning packet, and we're getting a lot of liquid still. So it's a little challenging. This is definitely a results may vary type of thing, but what we're trying to do is get some color on the sides, you know, and color is flavor, and we're establishing some fond in the bottom of the pan, and fond is that dark stuff, and that's flavor as well. And if you have the time, you could set your corned beef on a cookie sheet with a cooling rack and put it in the refrigerator overnight. That'll really help dry it out. This one we had to crank the heat up pretty high in order to get all that liquid evaporated, and once that happened, we were able to get more of a nice browning effect. Here with this corned beef, there's a fine line between the Maillard effect and firemen coming to your house for the burning smell effect. But anyway, what you want to do is turn the burner off and let that cast iron still stay hot. Add the onion, and then add a little bit of that beef broth, and keep using a wooden spoon to scrape up any of those burned fond bits from the bottom. And fond is flavor, and we're adding that flavor onto these onions. We're just going to cook these for about 5 minutes and let them absorb as much flavor from the pan as possible, and then transfer this to the bottom of the slow cooker. And here's the easy part. We're just going to scrape everything out of this pan, spread the onions around at the bottom, then we're going to add the corned beef. Now we're going to add the remainder of this 1 can of beef broth. Followed by a half bottle of Guinness stout. And that leaves you with 5.5 bottles for the chef. Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and 1 bag of these baby carrots, and our red potatoes right on top. And now we're going to add the remainder of this seasoned pack. Remember, we used some of this on the corned beef, and now we're adding the rest on top here. Cover this, and then set your slow cooker to cook for 8 hours on low. So they say never open a slow cooker, but here we are. So after cooking for 5 hours, we're gonna make some room for the cabbage. So just rest the cabbage on top and we're gonna let it cook for another 3 hours. And that should make this cabbage nice and tender. And if it doesn't, if you still have some trouble with your cabbage after 8 hours, kick it on to high for 20 minutes and that should make everything nice and tender. All right, so after 8 hours, we're using this cake poker, checking the tenderness, and this pierces through pretty easily. All the vegetables are nice and tender. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna remove the veggies into one bin, and we're gonna set the corned beef aside so that it can rest. And you want to shoot for a temperature between 160 to 190. Closer to 190 is best, and that's about what we've got here. We've got in the high 180s, and that means the collagen and the fat have broken down. So now we're going to make some gravy, and if you have a traditional slow cooker, they don't get to the proper temperature. They're not going to break 200 degrees. So you'll need to transfer the liquid to the stovetop, and we're shooting for about 203 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll start to work its magic. So we've got a cornstarch slurry, and we're starting with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch mixed with 1 tablespoon of water, and we're slowly mixing that in with a whisk. And because we have a lot of liquid here, it's going to take more than one round of slurry. So we've prepared a second round. And you want to have your burner on at least medium because you want to get, again, above 200 degrees to activate the cornstarch. Now, if you have a slow cooker that allows you to bring temperatures above 200, then you could keep everything in your slow cooker and make it happen. So if your liquid is above 203 degrees and you keep adding cornstarch and it's not thickening, just keep adding. You might need 2 to 3 batches depending on how much liquid you have. If you're under 203 degrees, it's not going to thicken, and you can add as much cornstarch as you like. It's just going to be nasty. And for true thickness test, use a spoon. Look at the back of a spoon, see how thick it is. This is still kind of watery in a way, but it is thickening up as we go. And if you want it thicker, it's up to you. Just add more cornstarch. If you want to add mushrooms, onions, whatever, herbs, thyme, go for it. Now we're going to pay attention to the corned beef. We've had it resting, and you could see we've got a lot of different directions in the grain here. So what we want to do is cut against the grain. So you can see the directions. We've got one direction and a second direction. So we're going to separate those two pieces so that we can cut at a 90 degrees angle against the grain. And that is how you get tender cuts of meat. So let's take a look at what we've got here. All right, you can see we've got 2 different pieces of meat. So this is probably where the flat meets the point. And it's a flapper. It's nice and tender. Did you happen to notice how small this beef is now compared to when we started? It's the same piece of meat, I promise you. And now we have the different direction of grain. So we're going once again at a 90-degree angle against the grain, ensuring that each bite is as tender as it can be. All right, so that's what we've got. And now it's time to plate up for the camera. It looks like man pointed at the chip in the plate, but that's okay because it can still hold a beautiful meal. Looks like he's got his fancy heat gloves on. Let's get some of that hot gravy going. take a look at it from another angle just to make sure it's real and not AI. And back to another angle. Yeah, look at that. That looks amazingly delicious. I know that my mouth always waters every time I see a nice delicious plate of corned beef right in front of me. What about you? Thanks for watching this video. Click like, click subscribe. Let us know in the comments section if you made this recipe. Let us know how it turned out. Thanks for watching.